All right, let's talk about 2026, because if you ask any astrologer, they'll tell you this isn't just another year on the calendar. We are looking at one of the most pivotal years in decades. Seriously, this is the start of a whole new era.
And look, that's no exaggeration. You're going to hear 2026 called the Year of Initiation, and for good reason. The planetary movements that are kicking off are setting the stage for some major personal and collective shifts that are going to ripple out for years to come.
First off, from a numerology standpoint, 2026 adds up to a one universal year. That number is all about new beginnings, planting seeds, and starting a fresh 9-year cycle. And what's just wild is how the astrology totally backs this up. The planets are making moves they haven't made in generations, and they're all pointing to the exact same thing. A massive fresh start is on its way.
So let's get into it. What exactly makes this year so incredibly special? We're talking about a fundamental change in the cosmic weather, and it's something that is absolutely going to affect every single one of us.
So, what's the big deal? Well, it really comes down to this number right here, 3. In 2026, 3 of the major outer planets, the slow-moving giants that shape entire generational trends, are all moving into new signs at pretty much the same time. I mean, this kind of thing just doesn't happen very often, and it always signals huge society-level change.
Okay, so let's really dive in and break down what's happening. We're going to look at 3 specific planetary moves and 1 really crucial axis shift that are the absolute game changers for 2026.
And here they are. You've got Neptune and Saturn, both marching into pioneering Aries, while Uranus, the great disruptor, moves into chatty Gemini. And just look at those durations. We're talking about cycles that last anywhere from 2.5 years all the way up to 13 years. So these aren't just quick little phases. They are the major headlines of our cosmic story for a long time to come.
First up, we've got Saturn. He's the planet of structure, of hard work, of karmic lessons, and he's moving into fiery take-charge Aries. This transit is all about disciplined courage. It's asking every one of us, what foundations are you building for your own independence? How serious are you about leading your own life?
But here's where it gets really interesting. Saturn isn't going into Aries alone. He's being joined by Neptune, the planet of dreams, spirituality, and illusion. This creates an incredibly rare and powerful combination, kicking off a brand new 36-year cycle that's all about blending our highest ideals with the discipline to actually make them real.
And then there's Uranus, the Great Awakener, moving into Gemini, the sign of information and communication. Get ready because for the next 7 years, this energy is going to bring sudden breakthroughs, technological revolutions, and a total shattering of our old ways of thinking. It's basically here to shake us all out of our mental ruts.
But wait, there's more. On top of all that, the final major recalibration comes from the lunar nodes. These are the points in the sky that dictate our eclipse seasons, and really they guide our collective evolution. And guess what? They're changing signs too.
So this shift gives us our new collective homework. With the North Node moving into future-focused Aquarius, we're all being pushed away from the Leo South Node's focus on individual pride and ego-driven validation. The cosmic assignment is pretty clear. It's time to move toward collaboration, innovation, and what's best for the group for the greater good.
Whew. Okay, so that's the big 30,000-foot view. But, it's one thing to talk about these huge collective changes, and it's a whole other thing to understand how they actually play out in our day-to-day lives.
Right? How does a planet changing signs translate into your career, your relationships, your inner world? To really get a feel for that, we're going to zoom way in and look at one sign that is feeling this energy in a really profound way.
So let's talk about Cancer. For them, 2026 is being called a rare emerald year, which is a period of just incredible growth and personal metamorphosis. And their journey, what they're going through, provides a perfect template for understanding the themes that all of us are going to be navigating.
And a huge piece of this puzzle comes down to this number, 12. For the first time in 12 years, Jupiter, the planet of luck, abundance, and expansion, is entering the sign of Cancer. And this is a big deal, because Jupiter is at its most powerful and happy in Cancer.
But listen, this isn't just about getting lucky. For Cancer, and by extension, for all of us, 2026 is about a deep, personal transformation. It's a year for taking our greatest sensitivities and turning them into our greatest strengths. It's about finally getting the courage to launch those personal projects we've been dreaming about for years.
So, Cancer's journey in 2026 is really a story in 2 parts. The first half of the year is all about that quiet, behind-the-scenes prep work.
Think of it like being in an incubator. Then, come June, the switch flips. The second half of the year is all about stepping into the spotlight with this newfound confidence and really seeing all that hard work pay off in a big way. So how do all those big, universal transits we talked about actually plug into this very personal story? Let's connect the dots for Cancer, because in doing so, we can see what we can all learn.
So each of those big transits hits a specific area of life. For Cancer, that Saturn and Neptune conjunction in Aries is lighting up their 10th house of career, really testing their leadership. Uranus in Gemini is shaking up their 12th house of the subconscious, bringing these sudden intuitive downloads out of nowhere. And that nodal shift, well, it's totally realigning their relationship with money and resources.
And this just shows you the tangible results. See the pattern here? The first half of the year is for clearing the decks, strategic planning, paying off debt, quiet introspection. This is what creates the clean slate needed for that massive expansion, promotion, and surge of confidence that arrives in the second half.
So if we take Cancer's journey as our map, what are the actionable steps for every single one of us in 2026? It's really 3 things. 1, build your legacy. Merge your biggest dreams with a practical, disciplined plan. 2, trust your intuition. Seriously, pay attention to those sudden insights and gut feelings. They are your key to breaking free from old fears. And 3, redefine your values. Let go of needing other people's approval and focus on what feels truly sustainable and authentic to you.
Okay, so as we pull the camera back out, it becomes crystal clear that Cancer's Emerald Year isn't just about them. It's really a concentrated version of the journey we are all being invited to take in 2026.
Ultimately, 2026 is about a kind of emotional alchemy. It's a year-long challenge, but also an incredible opportunity to take what feels vulnerable and sensitive inside you and turn it into your greatest source of power. It's about having the courage to do the quiet, unseen work so that you can launch yourself into a powerful, visible, and authentic new chapter.
This year truly is an initiation. A rare cosmic reset button is being pressed for all of us, inviting us to begin again. So the only question that's really left is the one you see right here. Your new era is beginning. What foundations are you going to build?